Hey everybody, Roger here. Hope you guys are all doing great. I want to first give a big old shout out to Luke Perry. He has passed away, and unfortunately everybody all over the internet are starting to use some of his words as he's not even cold yet, and some people are starting to use his words to try to get people riled up. So one of them, I saw MTV on Twitter decides that they were going to go ahead and put a quote for him saying racism exists, sexism still exists, and you know, we have to keep fighting it or whatever. And I'm like, oh God, give me a fucking break. No, those two don't really exist in the extreme way. They maybe exist in a very small, tiny fragment of the world, but they are mostly non-existent. And the real epidemic is the fakeness that comes from those, the fake accusations that keep us apart. He did say something right though, and I did agree with it, that there is still an abuse of drugs. Yeah, that obviously is still there, and we can still thank you know, our system for allowing this to keep happening. Anyways, I wanted to make this video today in regards to Captain Marvel. I wanted to weigh in on that whole issue. Basically, if anybody's been under a rock, Brie Larson, the woman who plays Captain Marvel, is basically saying that she didn't want her people, I guess when she's doing her tour, she didn't want a lot of the press being white males. And then it kind of evolved into her saying that, you know, the movie is made for girls. Her other old movie that made $100 million, A Wrinkle in Time, I believe, is made for girls, and she doesn't want criticism of that.
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. And,
you know, she's showing her true colors, and, you know, her, and I think it was her producer or writer, somebody big within Marvel, not in Disney, but in Marvel, the Marvel segment, had her own interview where she had said that, yes, you know, there is going to be quite a bit of SJW, not SJW, she didn't use those words, but SJW propaganda in the Captain Marvel movie. So it's confirmed that it's going to be a propagandist movie. It's going to be something that's going to try to change people's perspectives of women in general, yada, yada, yada. So let's go ahead and coincide all this with Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody knows, again, maybe my audience doesn't, but Rotten Tomatoes got rid of their want to see meter. And their want to see meter, in case a lot of people don't know, is a meter that a user can go and post whether they want to see a movie or not. Well, Captain Marvel initially started at 96% want to see, which is odd, you know, considering that there weren't that many people who voted. Well, not really odd. I'm pretty sure some of the fanboys and stuff and fangirls said, yes, I can't wait to see this. But then as time progressed, it went all the way down to, I believe, 26%, maybe 27%, before Rotten Tomatoes, who is owned by Fandango, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know there's a relationship there, and then there's a Fandango executive who used to be working for Disney. Rotten Tomatoes decided to get rid of the want to see meter entirely. They said that people were abusing it, trolls were abusing it.
Now, you'll see our Muffin Monster at work.
Disappear.
I'm sorry, but, you know, why is it considered trolling when you have an opinion if you want to see a movie or not? That's not trolling. That's people giving their own consensus, their own personal view of how they're gonna if they're gonna watch a movie or not, based off of, you know, what they've seen so far. And what they've seen so far is Brie Larson being a sexist cunt, to put it lightly. And their review matters because they are part of a figure. They are part of a whole. They are part of our conglomerate who will or will not see this movie. So now Disney, Marvel, and Fandango, for the most part, are all playing damage control. Just to tie in something else in here as well, I have always looked at these aggregate websites as biased as well, for the most part, and usually favoring an industry or a studio, regardless of the picture, regardless if a movie is good or not, when the buck counts. Star Wars, for instance, the Star Wars franchise, even Solo. So yeah, it's and Ghostbusters. That's probably the most epic one. But we now see the true colors. We now see the true colors of Rotten Tomatoes, Fandango, and Disney, and now Marvel. It's a shame what Marvel has become. Off story, when I was a kid, I loved the X-Men. I loved Spider-Man. X-Men were my thing. I loved the X-Men. I loved Psylocke. I loved Longshot, Mojo, Spiral, Dazzler. I love Dazzler. I mentioned her. These were my favorite characters, Jubilee, etc. But when Marvel started coming out with movies, I really loved them initially. Original X-Men in 2000 started it all for me, and I was hooked. But then I started noticing Hollywood family. I don't know how to say this right, but they would make these movies for the general audience, for the generic fanboy, who would later on become fans, or could potentially become fans, and so they added some jokes in there, jokes that I thought, okay, this isn't really what the movie, or this isn't really what these characters are about. They took away the seriousness of my favorite comic characters in favor of making it a family-friendly fare. So I started despising Marvel movies. Well into Disney taking, acquisition. Fox was tolerable for a while up until the latest Deadpool, which was very, very SJW. It just got on my nerves. But I cringe now every time I just hope and pray that they don't. Art Adams, if you have any say in this, please don't let them don't let them put Longshot or Mojo or Spiral in any of the movies. Please, whatever you do, I don't think I would be able to stand the movie rendition of a catastrophe they would make those characters. So yeah, I cringe every time now I see them. One of the worst Marvel movie scenes ever was Chris Pratt dancing as Star-Lord in front of not Drax the Destroyer, Ronan the Accuser. Ronan would have blasted his ass, but no, they did that. And I remember in theater, all the little kids and the family, the mothers and fathers were laughing, and I'm like, I'm done with Marvel at this point. At that point, it was when I really called it quits. I'm like, fuck this shit. I will watch the movies. I'm not going to watch Captain Marvel. I may watch Endgame.
I'm a hypocrite. I'll be the first one to admit I'm a hypocrite.
But that's really going to depend on what the reviews are about Captain Marvel, and if it's going to actually be, we start seeing that, yeah, she's the one that is the Supreme that will be taking over, or that will be defeating Thanos, or have a huge part in defeating Thanos when it should be a group effort. I don't know. We'll see. And also this, the Infinity Wars is veering away from the actual storyline from the 80s and 90s. So I'm not, or 90s, it's already changed so drastically from the original content that I can live with that. But when you're trying to throw in some feminazi type shit in it, then I'm just going to be like, okay, whatever, this is just bullshit.
Oh my god, this is bull. Let's go, James, we gotta go. I can't take this anymore.
Please calm down.
Wait, but there's a
Please calm down. Please calm down. Calm down. Let's calm it down. Okay?
So they have a vested interest. It's obvious. It's apparent. So Fandango is now, and this is not a lie, this is actually happening. I would like you guys to go to Google and check this out yourselves. Fandango is is limiting the type of movies that are going to be shown on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Thursday, they are eliminating all movies, and the only one showing in my local theater is Captain Marvel is the only one showing at my local AMC. I tried typing in Google Alita with my zip code, AMC. Nothing. So I'm just like, this is stupid. Obviously, they're not going to be showing Alita Battle Angel in the downtown Phoenix movie theater on the day that I want to see it. So that's obviously agenda driven right there as well. And then I look for Friday. The only two showing are Captain Marvel, almost all times and whatnot, and Medea. And they probably only left Medea on there because they didn't want to seem racist. I don't know. And then Saturday was How to Train Your Dragon, Medea, and Captain Marvel. And then Sunday was back to just Captain Marvel again. And then you go to that's Google search, but then you go to Fandango.com and you start seeing that the only pre-sale tickets you can buy for any movie is Captain Marvel. There are other releases coming out, but you can't buy the tickets in advance. What the heck is going on here? I'm not sure if this is them anticipating it to be sold out. I doubt it. With the way the news is going, especially when the figures have gone down drastically. I think they were anticipating initially 180 to 200 million opening weekend, then they had to drop it off to about 100. And now because of PR getting involved and stuff, they had to bring it back up to they're bringing it back up with the supposed figure of up to 150 or around 150. I'm like, oh, that's obviously PR. And who knows if those tickets are actually going to be like pre-sales or those ones that they're I don't know, there's like this program where little girls can get tickets for free if they're part of a group or some shit like that. Which, fine, that's great. But don't count those towards the actual dollar amount figure from the public that's actually purchasing them. If you're counting that, it's kind of bogus. You want that. I think they're wanting that appearance that this is going to be an epic movie, that this is going to be selling out, this is going to be breaking records left and right. I don't know. We'll see when the time comes. Obviously, as well, we don't have the reviews out yet for this movie. The critic reviews. And then the fake news basically saying, trolls are reviewing this movie negatively. Well, they weren't even reviews. I think everybody knows the story as well. They weren't reviews. They were just little comments about the movie, and that's not a review. And also, it was just people saying that they didn't want to go see it using the want to see meter. So crazy stuff. No reviews yet. Yeah, there's no reviews yet, but there's rumors that the anticipated critics' consensus is going to be around 80%. We'll see if that actually happens. I don't know. Yeah, everybody's spreading the rumor now, getting the articles ready, saying, "Oh, we got to prepare damage control in case it does flop." We'll say that trolls were the ones that made it not work, that made it not popular, that brought the movie's popularity down. Well, you're kind of doing it yourselves. You're removing all the other movies from being shown in the theater, in my local theater anyways. I've been seeing it. Go watch Memeology's video and you'll see what I'm talking about as well. He did the same thing on his video that I did in my Google search, and lo and behold, he was correct. You can't find any other movies playing during these days that Captain Marvel is supposed to be reigning supreme. Queen Bee herself. And honestly, the other thing, isn't Captain Marvel black? I mean, or maybe it's, I don't know. I could have sworn Captain Marvel was a black woman with a silver costume and an afro. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's been a long time. I never really liked Captain Marvel when I was younger anyways. It's just, but correct me. Let me know, people, because if that is the case, then Brie Larson should have, she's acting like those university students that say, oh, I really want minorities to have a place here in my college. Well, give your spot up. Give your spot up if you're that sympathetic to it. Just give your spot up as a student. Give it to another black person. Do you really care? No, I thought not. So yeah, they're going to blame it on the trolls, but really look at all the things that they're doing. They are removing the want to see. They are eliminating, or they haven't even shown like the critics' reviews. Yeah, they're going to just keep saying that we're trolls. We're people. We are consumers. Most of us are consumers. And then there were a lot of, okay, so now let's answer this as well. As soon as they got rid of that want to see feature, there were a lot of people going on, people, I'm pretty sure they were bought and paid for, that just suddenly appeared saying, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to buy my tickets with my family of 6 kids and we're going to watch this opening night, yada, yada, yada. Look, you're doing the exact same thing. I mean, you can't say that one side is pushing to have this fail while you're trying to push to have it succeed, and both of you guys being wrong or right. It doesn't work like that. I mean, it's just really ridiculous where this is all going.
Hey everybody, want to add this portion into the video. So I had to create a mock account because I don't use Rotten Tomatoes, haven't used it for years, and I created a mock account because I wanted to know how they were using this want to see button here. Obviously they've changed it a little bit here to make sure that it was just a little bit more difficult for people to use, but I clicked it thinking it was a link to a page, but it's actually me supposedly wanting to see it by clicking it. Now I can't unclick it. I'm trying right now and I cannot unclick it. So it's like if you click it once, it's already a false conclusion because I don't want to see it. I was interested in seeing where this button would go, and apparently the button is just to turn on that I want to see it, and I don't. So this isn't even an accurate interpretation of somebody wanting to see the movie, because there could be other people like me who thought this was going to lead you to another page. So yeah, I don't want to see it. So this number is actually 22167. The other thing I want to bring up is and the reason why I had to make this fake account is because it wouldn't let me, as a non-logged in user, you can't go into this view all audience reviews. It asks you to create an account. So I did, and when I went in here, this is the part I wanted to show you guys. Everybody's going to be saying, or all the mainstream media is going to be saying it was trolls, alt-right people, white men, whatever, or people who didn't want to see Captain Marvel succeed, that are going to be to blame for this movie if it fails. But as you're going to be seeing here shortly, as I'm showing you these names here, you're going to see that it's people from all sides. So it's not one side or the other. It's a lot of people kind of going in between and creating a fake accounts and fake things here. So Arvin M, let's go to him or her. Nope, no account. Nate J, doesn't want to see it, no account. Chris E wants to see it, no account. Michael Q doesn't want to see it, no account. John S wants to see it, no account. Again, look at, why is the want to see so damn low? Well, why are you fake? Why don't you have an account? Kevin M wants to see it, no account. So he goes in and writes this long thing. I know I'll see it. It's an MCU flick. It has Kree scroll, yada yada yada, whatever. Maybe it's real, maybe not. I don't know. But usually some people are really good at making convincing things. Messi is not interested. Messi T, and she does have an account. She does have an account here. So one for not interested. That's actually a true account. Diana S. Let's see a Diana S. Nope. And she wants to see it. Super hyped for the strongest Avenger to wreak havoc in space. I mean, again, it's on all sides. No account for Bill S. Can't wait, looks awesome. Joseph B doesn't want to see. And he's a real person. So 2 so far for don't want to see, and none so far for want to see that are legit people. At least from this little short thing here. Let's look at Danny R just in case. Give him a chance. Nope, no Danny R. How about Chris H? Let's see if he's real, because he wants to see it. Okay, so we have one real one. Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
And overall, I mean, I would much rather go watch Alita Battle Angel. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I first saw the poster, I'm like, this looks mental. This looks dumb. And the way she looks is just stupid. About Alita. And then I started watching the videos, the commentary about what is going on between Marvel and Alita. I guess it wasn't Brie that said this, but there were a lot of people that were basically saying, oh, you know, Captain Marvel is going to be the first Marvel female superhero in her own leading movie. And I'm like, well, what about Elektra? I don't know. And I don't know. It's just really ridiculous what's going on right now. They're pulling the false narratives out. They're getting ready for a flop or a success. They're doing what they can to suppress you from watching any other movie by removing other movies. From your local cinemas. I mean, go check it out. See if I'm wrong. I don't know. Overall, I want to watch Alita, and if I don't get to watch that this weekend, when I go to AMC and I see that there's Brie Larson all over the place, I'll make a video of it. Now, if I do see that they are showing other movies as well, I'll make a correction. But as it stands, when I go to Google, I can't find any other movies on those days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all Captain Marvel, and then just to have the token black guy in it, they put Medea in there so they don't look racist. What the fuck? Anyways, what are your guys' thoughts? Oh, and the reason why I didn't want to watch Alita, I had to go back to that, is because it just looked dumb. But then when YouTubers started comparing, content creators started comparing, you know, hey, there's a battle between Marvel and Alita, and I'm not sure if that's like a battle, but I mean, what woman do you want to be like? Who is a good superhero for young girls? After reading about what Alita is about, I'm like, wow, this does look interesting. And I wasn't even going to give it a chance initially. I thought it was stupid. Now it just looks so awesome to me. I can't wait to watch it. So thank you, Brie Larson. Thank you, Brie Larson, for opening your fucking mouth, for acting like a dumbass, for showing your true colors, because not only did you make me realize that I don't think I'll ever see another Marvel movie again, not willingly anyways. And if I do, it'd probably be like a thing that rhymes with rioted way to watch it, and it would only be like if I really had time to. But you also made me realize that there's a good movie that I was prejudging, which was Alita, and it's actually a movie that I want to see now so badly, because now I'm able to understand the premise of it. And I didn't give it a chance initially. I judged the book by the cover. And that movie actually looks so fantastic. And all the reviews that are coming out to go watch it. Go watch it instead. If you can find it in any theater, if no theater is blocking off, I may have to drive the 22 miles that it's going to take to go watch it instead of watching it downtown. I don't want to watch no. Why would I need to give my money to somebody who chooses to segregate? No, screw that shit. Well, and again, I would say I've made this argument before. You know, why would you boycott a business when you know they probably have the same people in there, like Albertsons or McDonald's or whatever suits your fancy. But in this case, I'm trying to make a statement. I am going to make a statement here, and yeah, in other cases, yeah, you can argue that too. So I'm being a bit of a fucking hypocrite. Yes, I am. but overall, I do want to give my money to Alita. I want to see that movie succeed. It looks like it's something that would be more endearing and in line with what a young girl which I think parents should be the ultimate idol, not a movie character. But I mean, if little girls want to look up to something in the theaters, sure, why not? Give them Alita. Alita seems to be that perfect role model at this point. Not only that, I mean, it looks cool. Anyways, overall, what are you guys' thoughts? You gonna go watch Miss Marvel Girl, whatever, or not, or are you gonna go watch Alita? Have you heard good things, bad things? Anyways, like, hey, subscribe, share, don't share. I do love it all. Peace out.
If you don't believe in magic, then watch me disappear. This is not where I wanna be.
Now that's total bull.